Huge Iron Mouse and English VA controversy over NTE game. If you don't know what NTE is, nope, it's not like NTR. It's at Neverness to Everness. Interesting name, I know, by here, by the way, the video. Yeah, we're gonna go through this. We're gonna go through this, and we're gonna make fun of people crying about AI. Yeah, you heard that right, because that's what this whole thing boils down to, AI. And I have my opinions, obviously. I do have my opinions when it comes to that. Also, please consider liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. We'll go in. Thank you so much.
English vtuber
But yeah, we're gonna hear that now. We're gonna hear that now.
Iron Mouse, as well as a number of English voice actors, are currently in the middle of a bit of a controversy with this new game NTE, or Neverness to Everness, including notorious English VA Kaylee Mills. That's right, English VA Kaylee Mills, one of the most hated English VAs out there. Many people call her a liar, a doxer.
Oh wait, isn't this chick? Hold up, isn't this chick? If I remember correctly, isn't this chick voicing, or didn't she voice Kaching in Genshin Impact? Or am I or am I misremembering things? And she was replaced. If I'm pretty sure she was replaced.
A harasser. All of that in relation to Kaylee's involvement with the massively failed Genshin Impact strike from SAG-AFTRA VAs back in 2025, and what she did to her fellow VA Jacob Takanashi. Let's get the context for this one. It all starts with Iron Mouse in a post from May 5th, which reads, Iron Mouse has dropped her Neverness to Everness sponsorship after finding out that the developers lied to her ad agency about not using generative AI in the game.
Which is supposedly true, right? That they did use AI in the game for some background stuff like posters and shit, right? But apparently they did not lie about it. Apparently they were open about this, and everyone who wanted to look up for it could in fact do that. Now, whether they lied to the ad agency, we cannot prove. Maybe they did. But it is public information that they have that does exist, right? That's the thing. Anyways,
Clip being 1 minute long, let's take a look.
And they had told my people
It
that there's
literally
no
has scenes
AI
from
in it.
Weathering with You on a big TV in the city
Yep.
with an AI filter over it. It's not even a, whoops, we forgot to take out the temp assets. It's theft, and they keep lying. Feel sorry for anyone that was involved without knowing about.
and there's obviously, I have to say this as well, right? Every time I see something like that, and people complaining about it, I'm like, yeah, but you do use GPT. Why using GPT? See, aren't writers also artists? Right? Aren't writers also artists? So why do you, hate generative AI, right? But you don't hate generating text. That's rather interesting. Why would you do that? I'm curious. Huh? That's odd. That's very odd. By the way, poker spoiler. You know what is tomorrow? Mother's Day.
About
It's
this,
so
or having
crazy.
already signed contracts without being able to back out.
Bro, I would have never known until I didn't know until I saw that thing on Twitter after the stream. I guess like since I did it, I got pushed. Like a lot of stuff got pushed to me, and then people also added me with stuff. So I saw it, and I'm like, what the f, bro?
And I also hope that these people, right? I also hope that they will genuinely not play a single video game that ever uses AI. Because some insiders said most companies already use AI for small, mundane, meaningless tasks. For example, grass fields, right? Just write a prompt, problem solved. Makes sense. So I don't want these people ever to play actually any games when it is everywhere. And it will be everywhere. It will be. I want these people to be don't have a problem if they have an anti-AI stance. What I have a problem is when they become hypocrites. So I won't want to see people like Iron Mouse not to touch a single game ever that has AI in it. When it is everywhere. And it will be everywhere. Eventually, every company will use AI. In some way, generative AI. In some way, shape, or form. And I don't want her to play a single game. Not one. Not a single one that does that. anyone, every other person as well.
They told my sponsor people. They told my sponsor people. They said no. They said we do not have AI in anything. There's no AI anywhere. And it's just like, why are you fucking lying, bro?
Now, really quick, if you're not familiar with this game, Neverness to Everness is one of the latest gacha games, having just released on April 29th, and people are calling it a sort of anime sci-fi GTA. As you'll see in a moment as the video continues, opinions are pretty split on the whole AI usage part of all of this, but regardless of that, if NTE really did lie in business communications, obviously that's a bad move. Equally as obvious, I'm not accusing them of lying, I'm just saying hypothetically if they really did, that's obviously a bad thing. But I haven't seen the communications, I don't know what was said specifically. We do have a post here that says the sponsor management actually lied and that this is an official statement from the devs. AI is only used on the poster and billboard as placeholders. Now, we'll take a look at this statement. I don't know how legit this is or isn't. We'll take a look at it though. But this also doesn't mean that they lied or didn't lie in communications. We don't know what the communications are, like I just said. So some public statement doesn't necessarily reflect what they may have said in private communications, which I'm sure everyone understands. But nevertheless, we have this that says, that gaming thing. Many projects are now promoting AIGC. What is the attitude of Shuhan towards AI in terms of technology and art? I'm laughing at my own horrible pronunciation of that word, my bad. But Yang Lei then says, our bottom line is very clear and our core assets and character portraits will never touch AI. Second game players buy emotional value and everyone is very disgusted with spending money to buy industrial assembly line products. We will mainly use AI to run some atmosphere renderings to see if it is the feeling we want as preliminary work for finding references and a lot of trial and error. Someone says, when was this interview taken? The OP says, this was a Q&A a few days before or after launch. The original is on Bilibili as far as I know. This is an English translation posted on Reddit. Other users saying thank you. And the OP providing the source of that interview over on gamersky.com. Now we'll take a look at some VAs who have also issued statements against NTE, starting with Kaylee Mills. And by the way, after that, we'll take a look at some of the parts of NTE that people are accusing of being AI generated. You'll be able to take a look and come to your own assessment. Starting with the response from English VA Kaylee Mills, who says, it's so important for the people who have the most power to speak up in situations like this. Very proud of Mouse and her team. I hope it leads to...
I think people underestimate how much power they genuinely have. The normies will not give a fuck. The consumers will not give a fuck. This game is already a financial success. I think a week and already 14 million made. Forget it. You are not getting anywhere with this. Nowhere. If anything, you might actually cause the opposite. And I'm almost certain you have caused the opposite. Also, it's funny. All these people complaining about AI. They're on Twitter, right? Which belongs to Elon Musk. You know what also belongs to Elon Musk? Grok. Grok does AI. Grok also can be used to generate pictures and videos. So you are indirectly funding Grok. So you're supporting AI whether you want it or not. Same with Google, by the way.
Positive change. Duality in the responses to Kaylee, with one user saying, yeah, I stopped playing when I heard about AI. It's destroying everything, so I'm not going to support AI in anything. Conversely, at the top reads, she's played multiple games using generative AI. Most all games coming out in the future will use it because it's a great tool. This is just...
That's also one. She has not taken down anything regarding Expedition 33. Nothing, in fact. She has taken down nothing at all. Ever. The only AI stuff I'm scared kind of is NSFW and taking all jobs. Almost all of NSFW is AI, I'll be real. It just makes sense. It's already there, and it will be more there. That's just the truth. But yeah. Also, Blue Archive, same thing. She played that as well. Interesting.
Just appease a certain rabid type of crowd. You yourself voice in games that are using it, which is fine. Such performative BS. Kaylee then adding two more takes onto her initial one that read, and by the way, I get why people don't speak up. Some may even have it in their contracts that they can't. Some are just afraid of losing work. More and more, I'm okay with losing work if it means standing on my principles. Kaylee Mills talking about principles. Now that's funny. Going to the second post now, she continues and says, "But I've also been through hell, and I know I."
Well, if you don't do the work, they will find somebody who will. If you don't do the work, they will find somebody that will, and they have found people that will. You are not escaping. Crying about AI makes no sense. It'll increase whether you like it or not. Yeah, whether you like it's like also they bark up the wrong tree. They bark at companies, they bark at people using it, but no any political movement, no laws are being made, right? Only laws could logically prevent this. But that's not what these people focus about. They would rather witch hunt companies. They would rather witch hunt people. So might as well use it. Essentially, see, there will be a point where AI will just be way faster than anything else. So there's not like right if as a company you won't be able to keep up if you don't use AI, right? It's like eventually photography replaced artists creating portraits. Surprise there, no surprise there.
can survive it, even though it felt impossible at first. There are too many amazing creators
The printing eventually replaced copywriters. You're not getting away with this. It's that simple. You don't play because it has AI, destroys everything. Just say you are a hypocrite. This person has probably at some point done something with AI and supported something with AI or used AI.
and properties with great people working on them to worry about being seen as unappealing to those who don't see me as malleable. Top responses to Kaylee, including, "Would you work with them if they remove the AI stuff?" She says, "Yeah, I would. I believe in second chances and betterment, and the fact you're okay losing work to stand on your principles is awesome and deserves mad respect." She says, "I also recognize it's a privilege and not something everyone can afford to do." Yeah, but when has Kaylee ever actually done that? It seems like she just takes the stance of whatever SAG-AFTRA demands of her. Another English VA issued a somewhat vague statement that seems to be about NTE and all of this AI controversy, specifically saying, "I recently found out that a game I worked on has been using AI and has been dishonest about it. I want to be clear that I do not support generative AI in any creative field, including voiceover, art, writing, or music. If this is not addressed and removed, I will not be continuing work with this team."
Then you shall be replaced. Then you will be replaced. People thought like it would be impossible to replace the VA for Paimon because she's such a important part of Genshin Impact. They still replaced her. So what? Who says you can't be replaced? Got to take some package. We'll go off to the Iran stream. Thank you so much for today. Good night, Poke and Slimes. Good night, Cricket. Good night. Enjoy the stream.
Let's take a look at the top responses to this VA. We've got Emerald Apple at the top saying, "Oh, but coding and software development using AI is fine. Grow the heck up. It's 2026. It's time to get with the program and join the modern times." Bulwark right below that saying, "I mean, you were paid, right? You going to give the money back?" And then we got Puro saying, "Since you now know that they were using AI and being dishonest, it's only right for you to return all the money paid for work you did. You wouldn't want your name to be attached to a horrible thing like AI, right?" And all throughout the responses, it seems like most people are actually
That is very true. See, the thing is, right? The thing is, eventually, again, it's gonna be everywhere. And you only care about generative AI. What is about people lose their job because of like coding? What about graphic design? What about website design? That has been basically completely butchered. That is no longer necessary. Um, what about writers? Zafira Helios, thank you for the sub. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do you care? Do you truly care, or is it just because you can? It's the current thing and you can farm it? Because never see these people call out using ChatGPT for anything related to writing. They don't do that. But writers are also artists in a way. They create art. It's just hypocrite. This whole thing is just hypocritical.
Actually not supporting her take at all, pointing out various hypocrisies and stuff like that. Starting with this 34-second clip, we'll take a look at some examples of what people are saying is AI generated in game.
Competition. First, let's hear a few words from the organizer, Giovanni Dvorak.
Hello, everyone. I am Giovanni Dvorak. In this game, you just need to select what you want and bring them out safely. It's simple and fun. I know you're feeling nervous, just like when I was about to confess to my now wife.
Thank you, Mr. Giovanni. I hereby announce.
Yeah, the TV animation clip does look like AI, but the real crime here is playing in the English dub. That's obviously a joke baked in truth, but let's take a look at the duality in the responses here. We've got, ugh, I love the game, why are they doing this? Conversely, good, I hope they keep doing this for tiny stuff that doesn't matter and is actually kind of funny so they have more time to focus on stuff that actually matters, like gameplay and story. Hey boss, we're short on time, can we just use AI to finish the segment faster? Yeah, sure, it's not a big segment, go for it. It's a non-issue. They're literally doing this to save time for more important parts. Things are getting strange though, because this response says there's a
Yeah, it's just logical. Everything's so fast. They have deadlines that they have to meet. It's just logical to cut out small, pointless stuff, right? It's logical to cut out stuff that is just needlessly tedious. Just do that. I don't care, bro. Who cares?
billboard that's just straight up scenes from Weathering with you, but with an AI filter on top of it. I really like this game and I'm enjoying it a lot, but wow, this is not a good look and it's so lazy. But this response says, when did you even record this, in the beta? Because it's not present on the current release. I check on the PC, console, and mobile version, and I don't see it. 3 more quick examples here in this post on Reddit that says NTE and AI, question mark, showing the first example, second example, and the third example. My bad, it actually got cut off a little bit, I see in post-production. Let me show you one more time. First example, second example, third example. There's also a 2-minute fight scene animation that's currently also a point of contention, with some people debating if there's AI use in that fight scene animation or not. But it's also a bit out of the scope of this video because a lot of that discourse is simply people arguing about how good of a gacha fight scene it is. Some people saying it's the best they've ever seen in a gacha game, other people saying it's not. So like I said, a bit out of the scope of this video. This is to say that that's like all the main stuff. Let me know what you think about the latest. And if you think the statements people are making have validity to them, or if you think people are blowing this stuff way out of proportion or what. I'll leave it there. Thank you for tuning in. Come to your own assessment as usual. And
Out of proportion, in my opinion. Completely out of proportion. It's simple. Adapt or die. That's all there really is to it. Right? And if you don't adapt, at least be consistent. Don't use anything that is generating anything, right? Don't use any AI that generates anything, whether it's videos, pictures, or text. Other than that, if you don't, you are kind of a hypocrite. Do I like generative AI? Not necessarily, no. I would prefer if humans were doing it, but that won't be happening. And there's no way to stop it. That's all there is to it.